The 2026 Porsche Taycan in this deep midnight black is the precise moment where electric luxury stops being polite and starts getting dangerous. For years, we have watched the EV wars play out, but looking at this machine, it feels like Porsche just decided to drop a nuclear option that makes the competition look like toys. This isn't just a facelift, it is a complete reimagining of what a four-door super sedan can actually do when you take the leash off and let it embrace the darkness. When you first lock eyes with this black-on-black spec, you realize the design language has shifted from elegant to predatory. It looks like a shadow moving across the asphalt. The front end has been sharpened, literally. Those iconic front fenders still peak higher than the hood, giving you that classic 911 view from the driver's seat. But look closer at the lighting, because this is where it gets sinister. We're talking about the new HD Matrix Design LED headlights that don't just illuminate the road, they carve it up with over 32,000 individual pixels. Against the black paint, those 4-point daytime running lights look like eyes staring you down. Porsche's ditched the old teardrop vent look for a cleaner, flatter, and wider intake system that screams aerodynamic efficiency. It channels air like a fighter jet. Moving down the side profile, the silhouette remains unmistakable. That sloping fly line is pure automotive art, but in black, the car seems to disappear into the road, looking lower, wider, and ready to snap at any second. And speaking of the rear, that full-width light bar now features a three-dimensional glass look with the Porsche lettering floating inside it, illuminated in red. Seeing that red glow against the black void is a flex that looks absolutely menacing at night. This car doesn't just sit on the road, it haunts it. But while the outside is designed to break necks as you drive by, the real revolution is hidden behind the doors, where technology meets a level of obsession that most manufacturers are too afraid to attempt.
Open the solid, heavy door, and the first thing that hits you isn't just luxury. It is a cockpit that looks like it was ripped straight out of a sci-fi blockbuster. You don't just climb in, you fall into it. You sit low, extremely low, anchored into 18-way adaptive sport seats that grip your ribs like they know you're about to do something illegal with the speed limit. In front of you sits a massive 16.8-inch curved display floating behind the steering wheel without a cowl. It is freestanding, crisp, and completely customizable. But glance to the right and you'll see the optional 10.9-inch passenger display. It allows your co-pilot to stream video that you physically cannot see from the driver's seat, keeping you focused while they stay entertained. Look to the center, because this is where Porsche flexes its layout mastery. The center console rises up aggressively to meet the dashboard, creating this cocoon effect around the driver. It houses an 8.4-inch touch panel with haptic feedback. It doesn't feel like tapping a meaningless piece of glass, it actually clicks back at you, giving you that mechanical confirmation so you never have to take your eyes off the asphalt. Now, slide into the back and you find something most electric sedans fail at. Usually, the battery floor makes rear seating a nightmare for your legs, forcing your knees up high. But Porsche engineers literally carved holes in the battery pack called foot garages. It lets you sit deep, natural, and comfortable, even with that sloping roofline crushing the wind outside. And speaking of the roof, look up. The panoramic fixed glass roof on this model features variable light control. With a simple touch, liquid crystals switch the glass from clear to matte in a millisecond. You can even isolate it into 9 different segments, blocking out the sun without a physical shade. It feels like magic. But all this tech and comfort is pointless if the car can't put the power down. And that brings us to the rubber meeting the road, because the stance on this thing is hiding a massive secret. Walking around to the side, you start to understand why this blacked-out silhouette looks so planted. It isn't just the air suspension dropping the ride height, it is what sits in the corners. This beast is rolling on massive 21-inch forged lightweight wheels. These aren't just for aesthetics, the spokes are milled out to reduce weight and feature aero blades designed to suck heat away from the brakes, and you are gonna need that cooling. because peeking out from behind those 21-inch rims are some of the largest carbon ceramic rotors Porsche has ever fitted to a production car. They filled the entire barrel of the wheel, clamped down by 10 piston calipers in the front that look big enough to stop a freight train. The stance is wide, aggressive, and the rubber is so wide at the rear it looks like steamroller tires ready to tear up the pavement. It gives the car this hunkered-down, predatory look, like a panther waiting to pounce. It is the perfect setup to handle the violence that happens when you stomp on the accelerator. Before we top the hood to reveal the numbers that are literally breaking records, do me a favor. If you want to stay ahead of the curve on the most insane machines hitting US streets, smash that subscribe button right now. You do not want to miss what we have coming next. Now let's talk about the heart of the beast.
People ask what is under the hood, and the answer is nothing but storage space. But buried deep within the chassis lies the real weapon, the massive 105 kilowatt-hour Performance Battery Plus system. It feeds energy into dual permanent magnet synchronous motors that don't just spin, they detonate. In the top-spec Turbo GT trim, when you engage attack mode, this setup unleashes a mind-bending 1,092 horsepower. Let that sink in. 1,092. It generates 988 pound-feet of torque instantly. There is no lag, there is no spool-up. You just stomp the pedal and the horizon snaps into your face. It hits 60 miles per hour in just 2.1 seconds. It is violent, it is silent, and it hurts your neck in the best way possible. But power like this usually comes with a price tag that makes your wallet cry. So what is the damage? You aren't just paying for a badge here, and you aren't just paying for a battery. You are paying for the privilege of owning the absolute apex predator of the electric world. This machine deletes the gap between a daily driver and a hypercar. It offers the comfort of a luxury suite with the acceleration of a guided missile. It is flawless, intimidating, and unapologetically expensive. This is not just transportation, it is teleportation. Considering the tech, the carbon fiber, and that record-breaking horsepower, we expect this specific Turbo GT configuration to hit the showroom floor right around $231,900. It is a steep price, but for the fastest four-door sedan ever built, it might just be worth every penny. If you want to be the first to see the next generation of supercars before they even hit the streets, you need to hit that subscribe button right now. The future moves fast. Do not get left behind. Thanks for watching.